You need to start running this lockdown hybrid coverage in Madden 26 because it transformed my defense from giving up 30 plus points to literally 0 against the most meta 3x1 sets in the game. The best part is I'll be breaking down this coverage in a live game scenario, so you'll know it will work online. And as usual, the match we're breaking down was played on 1v1me.com where over $5,000 was staked. Alright boys, this game is versus Soku, and he runs one of the most annoying U-Trips offenses that pretty much anyone in the world runs. And if you've watched my previous videos, you guys know that I have struggled versus U-Trips in the past. So this hybrid match shell that you're going to see is the real deal for almost all 3x1 sets. So he's in the Y out trips close, aka the U-Trips formation, and you're going to see all of the different shells, aka just one or two, that I'm using to really cage this, this offense in general. So first play, we're actually calling something that we're actually just got quick hiked for a run, but he got nothing out of it because double mug is so good. We are in the nickel 3-3 double mug formation. We're in a cover 2 alignment and we're calling blitz loop 3 or nickel dog mag, right, with auto flip on. Now, the first shell that we're using is not really a match shell at all. It's more of a blitz shell, right? And it's super easy to explain. So we just have cover 3 on the right, so C3. Cover 2 on the left, and then I'm going to be overloading this side of the field, right? So what you're going to see is that I'm moving my linebacker over to overload the left, and I'm going to D-pad switch to this vert hook and play anything over the middle. You can see we switch, and we ended up knocking that ball out, making it hard for him to get anything open because you had to worry about the vert hook that we instantly D-pad switch to, pressing down on the D-pad, or we also switched it to the flat to pull down to everything else. So he was in an early 3rd and 11. And we're still in something very basic, right? But this case, we're actually utilizing blitz loop 3. So we're not actually utilizing the match on this specific play. We have a curl flat. We have a basic cover 4 on the left. We're going to probably D-pad switch this vert hook. We have a cover 2 on the left. But we're not in normal mid blitz. We are in something called blitz loop 3. We'll call it BL3. Okay. Now, what this play does is it gives you cool blitz angles, unique blitz angles that go to the weak side of the field. So pretty much regardless of the protection he uses, as long as he doesn't block his running back, this will cause someone to come in. Whether it's the contain like this, or even this defensive tackle, right? So this is one of the most unblockable blitzes in the game. So what you're going to see on this play here, 3rd and 11, we're sending that heat. We're probably going to instantly D-pad switch to that vert hook. He blocks his running back, so we're covering his main reads, but he does end up getting that post. We were just a little bit too slow to get there. But we're realizing, okay, we can't just cover the whole field, and this is when you're going to start to see the match shell that I think is so good versus U-Trips. And hopefully it's on this play here. It kind of is. So in this case, we're actually going to just ascend to, right? Now, this is another great shell, right? So lately we've just been in cover 3. So I'll just write it down. We've been in cover 3 or cover 4, basic zone on the left, and cover 3 or cover 4 on the right, I should say, and cover 2 on the left. Now this is a really big switch up. This is a send to defense, right? Where we have 2 flats. We have flat here. We have flat going to that side. We're going to instantly D-pad switch to this hook curl here, right? And then on top of that, we have the inside third protecting us, and we're going to shade outside. Now, why are we shading outside if all the routes are going inside? Well, if this player goes on a streak, he won't be able to pass lead him outside, and he won't be able to pass lead him inside because we have the inside third. Same case if this player's on a streak. So that's a real benefit to this style of send to shell. The other benefit is we're sending 2 people off the same side of the field, which means this player here is going to get a one-on-one with this tackle, right? So it just ends up being a very difficult defense to beat. We're only sending 2 people. We have 9 in coverage. It's just really tough. So we're covering everything we can. You can see everything's pretty well bagged. I think if that was accurate, we would have maybe gotten there. But nonetheless, 2nd and 10, very early in the game. Now, once again, 2nd and 10, we're actually calling blitz loop 3. We're in a very basic cover 4 on the right, cover 2 on the left. Cover 2, cover 4, and then we have, of course, the vert hook that we're going to D-pad switch to, and we're blitzing off the left. Now this blitz, once again, basically unblockable. You're going to see right there, our contain's coming in. He steps to the right, hits him. He doesn't actually have anything open. If we were actually on top of the route he was trying to throw as well, right? So 3rd and 10, back-to-back 3rd and longs. You're going to see 3rd and 10. This is when you're going to see the match hybrid that I think is so good. Now, this doesn't mean you run it every play, but you mix it in with your basic cover 4s, your basic cover 2s, and if someone truly can't beat it, you can run it every play. So the way to set it up, it's really simple, is we're going to call a cover 4 on the right, so very basic on the right, and we man up this player, because this player could be on a flat, he could be on a drag, right? It's really poorly drawn, flat or drag, it could be on either, and a man coverage covers both, right? We have a curl flat because the tight end is likely on a corner. The curl flat do a great job at guarding the corner, right? So that's something we don't really have to worry about. And then the post kind of runs in late in the play to a spot where the curl flat can be switched to. The other thing though is we're keeping the match on the left. We're going to put an inside quarter on in a moment here. And what happens here is that both these players will match on to this player here. So if he goes on a post, he's completely caged. So the most common type of combo is corner and post, right? They have a post and they have a corner. Their two best players are guarded, and then this plays usually on a flat or a drag, and he's also guarded. So Y option wheel, their favorite play, completely guarded. And this is also, of course, very good versus bunch because we're matching the backside. And then on the other side, we're just playing a very basic cover 4 and also not giving up the most obvious flat, right? So what you're going to see here, he's going to call his play. We're going to D-pad switch and use this quarter flat. So in this case, I know what he has on the field. He has a Texas, corner, flat, streak, post. We're responsible for the Texas. We're going to D-pad switch and use the Texas with our quarter flat. R1's going to be guarded, might be on a drag or a flat. Corner is going to be guarded, post is going to be guarded, right? And what you're going to see is that everything, just like I said, is completely caged. Everything on the field, caged, nothing open, right? So 4th and 10, very early in the game, right? Once again, very early in the game. That match shell, already something that has worked for us, and that's the most covered he's looked thus far. So what do? Well, we call it again, right? Exact same shell that I'm talking about. We have the curl flat and the quarter flat. Same thing as before. Ran my watch into my desk there. Once again, same responsibility. Boom, with our user, everything we're kind of just following through, bumping into routes, muddying throws up, and we get a sack. Only sending 4 people. Very early in the game, we get a turnover. If you're liking this game so far and want to see tons of live competitive Madden action, you should definitely check out 1v1me, because not only can you watch, but you can also make real money staking on these matches. So if that sounds cool to you, check out 1v1me.com and click the link down below or use code SWOLOSIMO for a $50 no sweat stake. We turned that turnover into 8 points and he's back on offense. He got a big return, but nonetheless, we're back in the match shell. But in this case, we manned up the tight end, because the tight end can attack us on a post, and we're kind of expecting that. We're expecting him to do that. So in this case, you're going to see he has a corner on, but he puts his slot on a return. Now, because that kind of pixelated, I'm going to go over that one more time. This is something that good players will do, right? They'll end up putting a return route on this player or a post on this player. So in essence, making you choose, do you want to man up the tight end or do you want to man up R1? You have to make a choice, right? And if you're wrong, they're going to have one of them open, right? So what we're doing is we manned up the tight end thinking that was the guy who was going to beat us, but it ended up being this return route here, and he got a good gain out of it. So 1st and 10, once again, he's moving a little bit. He's gotten, his first down. He's kind of seen what the defenses look like, but even then, this defense, especially with a good switch, is insane. And you don't even really need a good switch, right? I say that, but I mean, switches benefit any defense. In this case, we ran some man hybrid, but he just runs the ball, right? Gets a big gain out of it, right? So he's moving downfield again. He's feeling more and more comfortable. So what we're doing is we're going to dial up a blitz, right? You have to throw someone off their rhythm when they are dotting up your main shell. So we're going to blitz the left. We don't get anyone in because I just didn't get my adjustments off, but we're doing a pretty good job at guarding his most common combos. We send someone, he has to throw the ball away, right? Once again, it was just very basic. Cover 4 on the right, cover 2 on the left, super basic, right? As in cover 4 on his strong side of his formation and a cover 2 on the weak side. In this case, blitz loop 3. We're back to blitzing. But once again, when he motions over that running back, we're expecting Texas, corner, post. So our vert hook has to get onto that Texas, right? But everything else should be decently covered. So we're going to cover the Texas, and then we're going to cover the post, right? Let's take a look here. We're blitzing, so there's a good chance this blitz comes in here pretty quickly. And you can see the contain comes in, he goes, throws the running back. He actually put him on a wheel that play. We weren't expecting that, and that's why he got the first down. 1st and 10, right here, we're going back to, we just kind of call man here, right? It was pretty much man coverage across the board. Cover 2 on the right, cover 2 on the left with 2 man-ups. And we have everything really, really well covered, right? Very basic coverage shell that you can mix in against U-trips. It's pretty solid, I would say. It's pretty solid. You're taking away their interior threats with the tight end and the slot by running cover 2. And then you're taking away their exterior threats with kind of just, deep cloud flats, right? So in this play, we're overloading the right. He runs the ball, but we end up making the tackle, making sure it's not a big gain. That's really the key with running ball. No one's going to keep running if they're getting 3-4 yards a carry. Just keep it under 5 and they won't keep running on you, right? Just a minor tip that'll pretty much help you in every game mode you play. So this is a key 3rd and 7, and on this play, he's not running U-trips. He's actually running bunch offset. But we're running our favorite bunch match shell that I really, really like against pretty much any bunch in the game, where we man up the tight end, man up R1. And then it's just cover 4 quarters. We're gonna instantly D-pad switch here, and you're gonna see we're gonna guard pretty much everything that he could throw. So we're gonna instantly D-pad switch, make sure we're on that table, and then right there, he just overthrows the in route. Our guy manned up to him, ended up just kind of getting bumped a little bit, just not playing super well. We didn't route commit inside, but it still brings him to a 4th and 7 that he has to convert. Down 8, right, is huge in Madden, right? So 4th and 7, what are we gonna call? Let's speed it up a little bit. And what you're gonna see is one of my favorite things ever. Hopefully we show it again. Yeah, here we are. We have send to man coverage. We have a curl flat, a hook curl, a spy, and then the send to on the right. Same concept as before. Shaded outside, right? You kind of can shade this guy inside because you don't have to worry about a streak. And then everyone else is pretty much shaded outside. We have the curl flats, guarding both flats, and we're gonna instantly D-pad switch to this hook curl and user him over the middle. And what you're gonna see is this is gonna be great for us. Like, it's gonna be fantastic, right? We're gonna D-pad switch to him. Once he snaps, boom, everything's covered, right? Everything on this play is guarded, and he tried to throw over the middle, raided our spy. Our spy makes a play, turnover on downs again. And we turn that again into 8 points. And we go back to our match shell, right? Once again, we go back right to our match shell, like nothing's changed and everything's guarded. Now, but that play, we made one extra adjustment though. I want to really point this out. I don't want to really gloss over it. Because he's been hitting us with this post, this short post, let me draw it. Because he's been hitting us with this short post, we put a hook curl instead of manning up our 1, we put a hook curl, which actually does a really good job at muddying up the tight end read, number 1, but most importantly is stopping that short post or short slant, and that ends up in a knockout because he's throwing right at our hook curl, right? So 2nd and 10, 2 minutes left in the 2nd quarter. You're gonna see, what are we running here? Chances are, let's take a look, we're blitzing, right? Now, I love this style of blitz, and I talked about this a lot on the Swasmo 2 channel. This is the exit stunt. I spread my line because you have to the right. And what's gonna happen here is this player comes in so fast. Let's actually draw him. This player comes in through this B gap so fast. So if they don't set up protection and their first read isn't open, it's a sack. It's just a sack. And we have, once again, cover 3, cover 2. Basic coverage shell. And you're gonna see this is gonna be a good play for us. Boom, he comes in so fast, first read's not open, sack. 3rd and 21 at the 9-yard line, okay? And what do we call in this situation? We're in our match shell with the hook curl because it's been so great for us. We accidentally switch to the quarter though, but it's all right. There's not too much attacking us and everything on the field is bagged. He even tries to throw something he should not be throwing. 4th and 21, he's at the 9-yard line, right? YF trips close, 4th and 21. He chucks a streak here. He overthrows the streak, but if it had been accurate, it would have been a knockout. But in this case, we're in the match shell, right? We're in the match shell. We're trusting our coverage. It's been so good for us thus far. He just chucks up a streak, 90 speed on like 91 speed. Didn't really matter. He didn't have it. We would have knocked it out. You can see he hit him after the play anyway. So nonetheless, 1st and goal, 9-yard line. We actually very quickly turn this into another touchdown and another 2-point conversion. And then before half, what do? Well, we smack him and we pick up the ball. It's one of the most dominant performances I've ever had on 1v1 me. And what do we turn that into? We turn that into more points, right? One of our super dots. Turn that into more points, 32-0. And best part is we give up absolutely nothing before half, right? But don't worry, we're gonna try to clock this game, but he gets one more drive, and you're gonna see, even with that last drive, where he'll just throw anything, it doesn't really matter. So as you can see, we did a great job clocking, where he got his last drive with 2 minutes left, down 32-0, strictly because of our defense was so good, our offense was clicking. And what are we gonna run? Our match cell. What else is new? We're running our match cell. Back to it, he really can't beat it. So we have everything covered, mind the pixelation here, everything's bagged, knock that ball out, 2nd and 10. I'm telling you, this match shell is so good. You just kind of mix up who your tight end is manned up to, or who your linebacker is manned up to. Once again, man up on the tight end, match shell, 2nd and 10, super basic, boom, everything's covered again. Literally everything's covered, he has no chance. 3rd and 10. Now 3rd and 10, he's actually going to gun bunch. He's realized his U-trips is absolutely caged. So he goes to gun bunch, we run our match shell versus gun bunch, and everything's covered. We also get someone coming in completely clean for a safety. So as you can see, I won this game in a very dominant fashion. I ran my favorite match shells in the game against both bunch and U-trips, mixing in some blitzing, mixing in some base shells. Truly a dominant performance, but there's a lot you can learn in that the match shells can bag everything if you set them up correctly. You have something for bunch, you have something for U-trips, and you can use this against almost any 3x1 set in the game, and your opponents won't know what hit them. Now, if you want to watch another video on an insane offense you can use, click the video on screen. It's probably covering my face right now, but click the video on screen. It's a super top of the line video, and it's a very unique offense.